Hello and welcome to another round of With Just 15 Defeats. I'm Teekosey and thanks for joining me on this new video. Remember, if you like the content, give us a thumbs up, leave us some comments and just get involved. I really want to hear from people. So in this show, we're going to be talking about a fight that's coming up shortly, which I think is going under the radar slightly, okay, and it's a fight that I think could potentially have an impact on the heavyweight division. Okay, now this fight is on the 5th of March 2016 and is between Chagaev and Browne. It's for the WBA regular title and it's out there in Russia. That's where it's going to be competed. So why is it an interesting fight and why could it have an impact on the division? Now, in a previous video I discussed what I would describe ill-fated WBA championship tournament. Okay, I can't see it coming to fruition. I think there's already been a change in one of the matchups already, or one of the fights has been cancelled. But anyway, the Chagaev-Browne is one of the matchups, and in theory, the winner goes on to fight Fraze Oquendo. Probably not pronouncing that right. Sorry, mate, but that's how it is. So, really, because of that tournament, if the tournament works out, the winner of this matchup is getting really a free pass because both of these guys are probably going to be capable of dispatching Oquendo pretty comfortably, and in theory, then they get into the final if that ever happens, and they'll get a bit of a payday there. So that's good for the winner of this matchup. Okay, so this actual matchup, the fight on the 5th of March, for my money, it's kind of it's going to be decided on three factors, and in simple terms, it's going to be whether Chagaev still has it left, whether Lucas Browne has enough, and possibly the actual venue. Okay, so we're talking about Chagaev. He's an experienced veteran. He's nearly a 20-year career as a professional. That's quite a long time, really, and he's not 40 yet. So he's been going a long time. He's in that 20-year career. He's had 7 world title fights. Now he's won 5 of them. So he's got experience of big fights. He's got experience of world title fights. But what I would say is, personally, I think the level of competition that he's fought is a real mixed bag. No doubt about that. Yeah, he's fought some top guys, but the vast majority of his opponents, they're low quality. They are low quality. Personally, I think that he's fought four top guys. 4 top guys, I think. Yeah, it's 4. He's fought a John Ruiz, who he beat on a split decision. It's not a bad result. But obviously, that was on the back end of John Ruiz's career. He fought Valuev, and he beat him. That's when he got his first world title. So that's quite a credible result against a guy who, at the time, was undefeated in 46 fights. So that's a good result. But then, if you think about that, after that, he's fighting Skelton, Drummond, so many of these just average guys. But he has fought Klitschko, Vladimir, but he lost. He lost that. It was over. But to be honest, that was expected. That was in the filling in the Klitschko career sandwich, and he was just another one who was penciled off in that incredible run of defences for Klitschko. He's also fought Alexander Povetkin, another credible opponent, who defeated him as well. So you could say that when he stepped up to that top level, he hasn't been good enough. It's as simple as that. And he's fought two guys on the back end of their career and got his biggest wins. So the other thing I would say is that in this fight, there's going to be a massive size difference between Browne and Chagaev. But what I would say is, you need to bring in that Valiev fight. You need to consider that. Now, he beat a giant, an actual beast, and he won that on the he won that on a decision. So he's obviously capable of fighting bigger guys. Now, he's a smaller guy. He's very compact. He pushes forward. And he's going to be a problem for Browne. He's going to be a problem because he's not going to lay off. He's going to keep coming. He's going to stay in the pocket. He's going to be busy, and he does have power. Throughout his career, he has knocked out a number of people. He's got 21 KOs. They were calling him the White Tyson. That might be a bit OTT. He's got a KO in his last matchup. So he still does have that power. So he's going to be persistent. He's going to be a persistent problem for Lucas Browne. Now, when we move on to Lucas Browne, he's a similar age. But he hasn't been a professional for even half as long as Chagaev. Now, I tried to look into him to see how experienced he is. I can't find out much about whether he had much of an amateur career, but what I did notice was that when he was first starting out as a professional, he did fight MMA as well. So he's probably got more of an MMA background, maybe kickboxing. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. And one thing that I did find interesting was that he fought Daniel Cormier. Now, Daniel Cormier, he's a UFC world champion. I can't remember if he's a current champion, but I know he's won world titles in the UFC. So, and this guy, I think he stopped Lucas Browne. So he's kind of he's got a bit of a fighting background, but as I say, I actually think he's quite inexperienced as a professional. He's got 23 wins and 20 KOs, but when you look at the level of opposition, it's quite appalling. Who he's fought is real low rate opposition from day one all the way up to now. Like even his last opponent, Julius Long, he's got a record of 16 wins and 18 defeats, and he basically gave up on his career 10 years ago. So, and the fight was really, really appalling. Julius Long is a massive lump, and he's so pedestrian, so slow, and realistic. You're watching that fight and you're going, just knock him out, just put him out of his misery, and really went to the wire before he managed to stop Julius Long. But if you kind of take him out of the equation, the other guys, he's fought a washed-up James Toney, Travis Walker, Richard Towers, who's absolutely pony. A few other guys that have just got just real journeymen, loads of journeymen there on that record, and really the only one that's half decent is Andrei Rudenko, who he went the distance with, which was quite a boring, painful fight to watch, and he edged the decision, but it wasn't a great fight. Now, the problem with Lucas Browne is quite limited in terms of ability. He's not the silkiest. He's quite slow, quite cumbersome. Not fantastic movement. I seem to most of the fights I've seen him. He's one of these guys. Round one, he's bobbing and weaving and pretending like he's got good movement. By the end of the second round, he's just plodding along and just swinging, just gunslinging and just trying to brawl his way through. But he does have power. He's knocked out a number of his guys. Now, what did I say it was? It was 20 KOs in 23 fights. Now, obviously, lack of opposition is going to help that rating. Surely, if he'd stepped up a couple of years ago, he probably wouldn't have that kind of record if he was fighting a lot tougher guys. So, as I say, really, for my money, this boils down to whether Chagaev, does he still have it? Now, when did he fight those? Let's quickly check when he had those world title fights. Now, his first world title fight was 2007. So, it's 9 years ago. It's 9 years ago, the world title fight. And then he followed it up with defences against Skelton and Drummond. Klitschko was 2009. And then Povetkin 2011. So, and then since then he has fought literally nobody of any note whatsoever. But on the other hand, you've got Lucas Browne, and we know that he hasn't really fought that great opposition. So, is he really at that level? Now, I can't remember if I previously said this, but the funny thing is that he's definitely not at the top level. He shouldn't be eating off the top table. But then we've got other guys that are up there as well. That really should they be as well? Anthony Joshua's fighting Charles Martin this year. Now, neither of them should be in world title fights just yet. And the thing is, there's a number of guys who are close to the top that Lucas Browne's probably on a par with. So it's a funny old division at the moment. People are getting chances, and it's all because of obviously the Klitschko collapse and how that's going to play out. So let's go on to the odds. Actually, this is quite interesting. Now, I'm just looking at my Paddy Power accounts. I just click on that, and we've got the Chagaev versus Browne. Now, their odds are 1-3 for Chagaev. So they've put him as the favourite. Lucas Browne is 9-4. So it's quite a big swing. It's quite a big swing on who they think is going to actually take the win. And let's just have a quick browse what they think. They think it's going to be under 8.5 rounds. That's quite interesting. So that's basically saying that they're expecting it not to go the distance. Method of victory. Right, method of victory. Chagaev on points is 2-1. Chagaev by KO is 5-4. 5-4. Lucas Browne on points 6-1. Lucas Browne by KO is 10-3. And that's quite an attractive bet. The 10-3 Lucas Browne KO. Now, what's my prediction? My prediction in this fight is that I think it actually might be quite an interesting little brawl. Now, if it's going to go the distance, you got to edge towards Chagaev. He's just going to be so much more active. But Lucas Browne comes with a bit of power, and really he's untested at this level. He might be more than good enough. And this is really going to be such a great test for him to see whether he should be at the top tree. Now, if he wins, he's going to get a title. Admittedly, it's a title that 3 or 4 other guys also hold. So, like, how good is that? But he's going to then be elevated to the top tree. So, my prediction, I actually think Lucas Browne's going to win this, and this is going to be a stoppage. It's going to be a stoppage win. Yeah, Chagaev is going to be stopped for the first time, but Lucas Browne, he gets my pick. I just think it could be right time. It's in the right place at the right time. It's as simple as that. Lucas Browne is going to be at the right place at the right time, and to be honest, probably in his first defence, Lucas Browne will be stopped by somebody else. But we'll talk about that next time. So thanks for watching this video. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And if you've got any comments, just hit me up and I'll get right back at you. And leave us a thumbs up. So this has been with just 15 defeats.